the way of thinking is much more important, right? So being able to connect the dots, being open-minded, being logical thinking, but not, as you said, not exactly having PhD in physics. It's much more about mindset, about being able to be responsible, having ownership, but also being, like the Renaissance man, right? So having different experiences from different areas and being able to say like, okay, what we predict is this and this, and the forecast is this and this, and that's how we interpret that. So these are like crucial sets of competences, of mindset, and I think it's much more logic, and it has a lot of more sense to grow people in that area, to reskill, than to wait for the candidate of your dreams for a year, right?
Hi, guys. If you don't know us, maybe some of you do, but if you don't know us, let us introduce ourselves to you. Róża, will you start?
I can, with pleasure. I'm the founder and CEO of HR Hints, and we are the boutique operating on subscription model. And we are doing HR, we are doing people and culture, and we are doing talent. So we are building teams, we are experts in the market, and that's the thing we'll be discussing among others today, I guess. But also we are very dedicated to people and culture area, so to growing people, to helping people be better leaders. So I guess that we are having a lot of things in common, and we'll be talking about it today, Maria. And how about you? I'll let you.
Róża, and
introduce
I
yourself.
think that you should mention as well that you are like international, right? You are not like in which markets do you operate?
Yeah, we are coming from Poland originally, but we are working with 12 European countries for now, and we are also having quite strong presence in US. So we are working with people basically from Europe and from US. So these two perspectives I will be sharing today.
Yeah, me as well. So to whom knows me already, I'm sharing my time between three locations. So it's Europe, Dubai, and of course Canada, where I live. So today I'm greeting everyone and saying hello from Toronto. And let me tell you a bit about myself. Just as Róża, I'm working in AI and technology for many years already. I'm an AI expert. I own a couple of companies. One of them is a software house. One of them is advisory. One of them is recommendation system. I also advise and help companies in digital transformation, about which we will be discussing. We will be discussing today. And as I said, we are present on all those markets that I mentioned before. I'm also an academic. I'm a researcher. I'm a public speaker, and enough about myself, because you probably know it already. So let's start and move on to the topics that you are most interested in. We collected together with Róża a couple of questions that we think that still we haven't found answers to them. So we will share our international experience from many markets with you today, and we do hope that our discussion will be extremely helpful in your everyday business, because what we promise today, it will be very useful and hands-on. So maybe let's start. I know, because we discussed before we started today's podcast, and I know that Róża shocked me with a couple of numbers from the latest research about how many people do we lack, and what's the number? This is shocking.
Yeah, like when it comes to the talent area. So because we were talking a lot about reports, we know we've quoted the big four reports about AI. We know how many people we need for machine learning, for AI, for Python, for R, for other technologies in AI in general, but also being very specific. that's the thing we are really struggling when it comes to the market, because one hand is the thing that we really miss the talent. We are having a huge gap, and we lack about 20% of needed talent in tech in general. And it's like general gap in tech, in AI. Of course, if we are going deeper and we need people with specific technologies, tools, or being experienced for more than 3 years or 5 years, it's getting only more difficult and more difficult. So the fact that we are not able to produce, we are not able to deliver with just an academy, like classical academic growth and classical academic path, is the fact. So we are not able to count only on universities, even if we are having a lot of great professors and we are having great technologies in Canada, in US, in Europe. We are not able to being addicted only to them. So we need to find another ways of finding talents, of growing them, and to focus not only on being focused on looping and searching at the market, because we need to go further and we need to find people with potential, just to grow them afterwards, just to hire people not for experience only but for potential. Because and we need to go with the programs, with the possibilities of growing them afterwards, because it will be extremely important to not only know who exactly we are interested in hiring, but also being able to deliver that. Because currently, from our experiences, and we are working on European and US market, we see that even up to 30% of open AI recruitments, so open roles from junior roles up to very senior roles, are not being able to close because they are open for half a year. And managers are looking for such experienced people, and they are not able to fill these roles because market is not delivering these candidates, and academia is not able to give these absolvents. So I think that that's super interesting topic, because you are also responsible for delivering such people or making them off somehow. So stage to you. How can we address that? I think.
Yes. First of all, let's start with comment from my end. This is super interesting and super vital for the companies, because guys, let's think about it. With the rise of Gen AI and generally AI, right? All companies they are fully aware that whoever gets there first and has the best talent, right, to do this kind of stuff, they will win the market. They will conquer the market. And right now, this is the time of revolution. So actually, we are waiting for new giants, new market dominators, new potentially monopolists in technology world, and whoever gets the talent will get there first. Let me repeat that. So actually this is super vital, and from my experience of more than 6 years of doing AI business across the globe, whoever gets best people gets ahead of the competition, right? And everyone struggles. Don't believe that even the largest companies, they do not struggle. They struggle with talent because, as Róża said, the numbers are horrid. And just to give you an example of UK market, they estimated the gap, and the gap widens year to year. It doesn't go down, even with the fact that all academia, I mean all schools and universities in UK started teaching data science and AI. Even like the gap widens because still there are more open positions. And to be honest, I shared with Róża before that the stats that I like very much, that there is like around 500 million people waiting to be transformed, and they need to transform themselves into data or data science oriented jobs. And actually, when I discussed with Israel, with my friends from ministries and from large companies in Israel, they told me, "Come on, Maria, this is old news. This is old stats. We're around 1 billion." It's like, wow, mind blowing. This is not official, but actually all the experts are saying that the numbers are much, much higher. So what do we do about it? I'm also in academia. I teach people, but somehow with the capacity of universities, and most of all, universities are mostly for people who are students, for young people, right? What do we do with all the adults? So definitely we have this huge AI talent gap problem, and it's a problem everywhere. Don't assume that in Canada or in States the situation is much better. Maybe slightly because more people are coming here, but to be honest, all the companies across the globe are struggling because they want not only data scientists, they want right now they need men. So just let me close with the fact that actually one of the reasons why we struggle with hiring people is also their compensations. And one of the latest articles, I think from Bloomberg, some estimates were saying that right now, prepare Róża, yourself for that. You might know it, but all the audience, all the listeners, just prepare yourself. Right now, data scientists, good data scientists, are getting around up to $900,000 per year. 900,000. And it's not shocking anyone. This is official stats that came, I don't know, in the last week or so. This is like shocking. Who can afford that?
And what's like additional thing here? A lot of companies were believing that the layoffs in tech will cover that gap. We had a lot of that stuff in the last quarter of the previous year and in 2 quarters in this year. We've heard a lot of that, okay, we are not hiring with tech hiring, especially AI hiring, because there will be a lot of talent. So this wave of fired people will cover all that gap. And guess what? Nothing like that happened, because the gap is so huge and we are missing so many people, like even up to 25-30% of needed people with any experience. I'm not talking about super managerial or senior experience. I'm talking about like minimum 1 year of experience or even 6 months of experience. The gap is so huge that it's uncoverable with any layoffs, with any additional talent. So if we want to implement complex way of hiring people, of teaching people, of giving additional possibilities to gain some knowledge in AI management, in AI learning in general, we will be just not able to go further with the growth in the tech and in AI area, definitely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And actually, we haven't mentioned yet that we are talking about completely new positions. So we are not talking about, sorry to say, old school data scientists and AI managers. Of course, we do a lot. Róża is hiring them and finding the best talent. I'm creating those people. Actually, I'm helping them grow into AI positions and into AI career. But still, like we are talking, let me say, like standard positions. What about new positions? There are so many of them, right? We have prompt engineers. We have who do we have? We have robot trainers. We have model trainers. We have AI testers. We have people who will create out of not only prompt managers, but they will be creating with the usage of Gen AI. They will be creating the new films, videos, marketing stuff. Like for some of those positions, we don't even have a name yet. Not mentioning the people who will be transforming organizations from within.
Yeah, we're also having like as you've mentioned, we are having 2 huge groups for whom we don't even have names for different positions. The one is the enabling engineers group. So implementation, enabling, so like opening the window between customers and engineers. So we call them like, the Renaissance man, right? So people who are having a lot of context, who have already some knowledge, the historical knowledge about data, but also being able to be experts in the industry they work. So we are having a lot of people like, working in this enablement and support area, and we are also having a lot of customer facing roles. We call them linkers. So working on the on the boundary, or on the border between tech and customers. So we can say that it's partly automated, and it's a lot of work in that area is standardized yet, but still these people need to be communicative, easygoing, and all that stuff regarding customer facing roles. So we will be having a need of not only new roles, as you said, they are not defined yet. So we need to start working on building competences. So we are used to the old model of hiring that, okay, if you are having 3 years of experience in coding in Java, or I know writing in Python, even if you are machine learning engineer and you know AI and you are able to for example, using our language or Python, and it's not enough right now, because we really need to focus on soft competences, interpersonal, intrapersonal. So being reflective enough and being open-minded enough to, being able to connect the dots. And that's the thing. I think, like, I don't like the phrase that competences of future, because it's like competences of
today.
needed now, of today. Yeah, definitely. But what we really need to find out is how to, in a repeatable way, in standardized way, being able to build these competences of, thinking broadly enough and being open-minded enough to find people who are open-minded and easy learners, to being able to update their knowledge like every quarter, every month.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, when I listen to you, it's wonderful to have like your perspective added to my own, because I already feel that somehow those areas, I mean technology and HR, they are somehow they go hand in hand. So without people, please guys, if you I'm talking to people who are listening to us, don't believe that technology will create its own products, and it's self like sustainable. It's not perpetuum mobile, and it will not, at least for the next years. So I think that people are safe, at least for a couple of decades. But what I want to cover right now is, like, you mentioned the talent, and that not only the technological skills are needed, are necessary for successful delivery of projects. I very often I use the stats saying that right now, depending on the research, 60 to 80% of projects, they fail, and they fail not because they don't have like good data scientists on board. Actually, the other way around, they don't have managers and people who tell those data scientists what they want. They can, in a literate AI literate way, they can explain what the company needs. And I believe that I think, I'm not sure what your opinion is here, but maybe we should not create data scientists and managers from the scratch, but add AI to their current competences, right? Because I read another stats, and actually we did the research on our own, stating that if you want to learn data science, it will take you around 2 years. I mean, technical with programming, around 2 years. If you want to learn business in a particular area, it will be around 5 years. So this proportion is huge. So it's easier from our perspective to add AI or to teach AI, sometimes without coding, of course. This is for managers mostly, to teach them AI skills and AI competences, also including the soft ones that you are saying. For example, choosing the right project, calculating ROI, choosing the best team, building the test framework, maintaining it, doing AI ethics, like a lot of stuff that needs to be done, and it's not connected to ability to program. And still, maybe we should reskill those masses of potential, of talents. They're just
Mhm.
waiting for that. What do you think? Like, do you think that reskilling, because there
Mhm.
was a lot of discussion, including Andrew Ng and Coursera, can we reskill everyone? What do you think about it? Is it the better approach than to hire? Would you?
Definitely. Definitely, when it comes to the possibility of using the talent we have in the organization, it's much easier, and it takes less time because we don't need all that process of hiring new person. And this person is already part of the culture, and organizational culture knows the values, knows the behaviors, knows the practices of the company, and also knows the product, right? So it's much, much easier, and it takes less time just to give another competences, or even being able to verify if this person is now able to grow in the area we need to. Because very often when we hire someone, or when even if we are doing the internal recruitment, we are interested in checking the past experience, which is, from the intuitive point of view, that's quite obvious, right? Because okay, if you've already done the, if you solve the problem 3 times, I think you will be interested in doing it for me for the first time. And what we know already, in fact, it's like exactly the opposite. It's much better to find someone hungry, to you know enable this person and to unlock this possibility to grow in doing the thing that this person haven't been doing yet. So of course we need some experiences or similar experiences or some competences that are similar, or that we can build on as a base. But focusing on finding exactly what we need is a mistake, because we are lacking too much time to have this person, and we are losing too much time to find the perfect candidate from outside, to find the perfect match. And very often companies are looking for someone new for 9 months or whole year. Like, we know a lot of companies that are looking for AI engineers or AI managers for a year. And we say, like, okay, you could take someone less experienced and transform their profile, or
The
take
studio.
someone from inside and reskill, as you said, and it takes 3 months or 6 months. And you are able to, if you do that in a systematic, standardized way, you are able to have a little production of great talents that are already checked, because these talents in your organization. So it's but it's, I think, like, one change needs to be done in the mindset, because it's the mindset change. People currently are hiring for answering the old question, if this person um, might do that, and or is able to do that, while the current question, and the only right one, is the fact that we need to answer the question, will this person do that for me? For me right now, is this person highly motivated? Is this person able to learn new things? Is this person able to reskill, to update, to refresh the knowledge? Because, as you say, like, every month we are finding out something new. So the competence of finding new areas is much more important than having the knowledge from the last past years, right?
I,
So
I
there's
fully agree.
there's not none other way than hiring people like that, or reskilling, having existing talents,
I
I
love
think.
it. I just love it. I wish that companies could see that this is a new way of thinking. Honest, when we train managers with AI, when we empower them with AI, we show them that Gen AI, for example, is one of 14 available AI technologies, and they should use them and play with them like Lego blocks. which is kind of cool because it's fun, and we do this capstone project, and they play with that. But actually they come back to the topic of Gen AI, and they say we can use Gen AI for everything, so basically we don't need to learn additional 13 technologies. And I say you can't be further from the truth, because like, with just as Gen AI is super hot right now, another technology will come according to Gartner hype cycle, right? And another technology will come. So basically, you are like chasing your own tail and always chasing after something. So a new technology, okay, I'm in. A new technology, I'm in. Right now, sorry to say, Gen AI will stay with us, but it will become a commodity. And within the next 3, 4, who knows, maybe 6 months, but not later on, we will have a new super hot technology, most probably recommendation systems, to be honest. And we will be like chasing after that. So what we need is the capacity and this ability, as you said, exactly. So we are teaching managers so they are aware, and they can connect the dots, and they are looking forward to receiving the new technology that is just a tool in their hands, because they understand the logic, they understand business, right? They know how to find good AI solutions for the problem that they are noticing in the company. And that's it. This is the I've at least this is our approach, right, at Elephant AI, that we think that these are the competences of the future. What would you add to that?
Mhm. Yeah, I see. And when you started to talk about this Gartner and this hype cycle, is like exactly the same on the talent market. So when you read, for example, the Netflix book, and you read that the strategy for having greatest and newest talent is just to pay the highest
Yes.
salary, and it's not actually, and it's not because you can pay the highest salary for some time. And if you are able to pay for the quarter or 2 quarters the best salary on the market, you can be sure that if the next company who will pay more will come to the market, these talents who were paid the highest salaries will gone, because they will go to the place that pays a lot. So it's not the way of um, of building competition on the market right now to pay the highest salary, because if you do so, other companies, it's like the vicious circle, right?
I
And
know.
it's
I
not a
suffered from that
yeah.
when I paid more. After 3, sometimes 4 months, the person was, let me say, bought or taken by the other company by offering, I don't know, sometimes even crazy money, 50% increase in their salary. So who would say no?
Mhm. And yeah, and it's exactly why it's not the way to, because there are some companies that say, I'm not interested in growing people in AI, I'm not interested in reskilling and giving additional competencies, because I'm rich enough as a company to pay the best people the highest amount of salaries, and they will always come to me. And I say, like, it's timely solution because you are able to pay a lot for some time, but it's always the competition about money. And if you are not able to build the competences of growing people and letting them be better, or building this parallels, as you said, or collecting the dots, or like being able to build the analytical thinking in AI, you will just lose. For a long distance, it's not a method to being best paying company.
Mm, absolutely. And actually, what I observe is that sometimes, because what we are absolutely clear and at the same, um, like, we share the same opinion here, that actually reskilling and investing in internal talent and adding AI and helping them with AI, empowering with AI, it's the ultimate solution, at least for the next years. But somehow, what I observe, because I work with many companies, in different countries and on different continents, and they are afraid to do so. They say, just as you said, it's easier to hire because people who are our current employees, they are a bit afraid. And to be honest, right now, I think it's a stat from yesterday or like quite fresh. They did a research among Americans, quite a huge poll, and it appears that around 70 to 75% of people, of Americans, are afraid or expect even more. They expect that robots and computers and automation, job automation, will take their job. So I think that sometimes the I don't know, the problem and the actual the struggle inside companies is we don't want to start because people are afraid. We are afraid as managers as well. So maybe let's, I don't know, let's push it aside. Let's wait until it's, I don't know what. It's like, it's
It will come and
I
take
know
us.
it will.
Yeah.
It's in my opinion, this is magical thinking that something will not happen, even though, of course, all of us they know it will. So, do you observe it? That
But
sometimes
I think that there are differences. I don't know how you observe that when it comes to the international perspective and differences, because I don't know how it looks like in Dubai or Canada, but what we see as a difference between US and Europe, uh, people in Europe are much more, I would say, arrogant a little bit. So say like, oh no, it's not possible to automate this and this. We are not able to standardize that, so AI will not be working here. When IBM did the huge layoffs process to replace people with AI, it was like as you said, it was like a huge fear, but it was even bigger uh, because people didn't understand what happened. And from the position of being, looking from looking with the distance and reservation, and saying like, okay, we are not in a risk, we don't know what's going on here, and we don't care because we are so individual and we are not able to solve these problems in a different way, from the to the moment when you are really losing your job, it's quite close distance. And for European, especially European corporations, it will be a great shock when the implementation will have a huge scale. And what I see in the US that US are much farther in this thinking, like, okay, that's the part of our way. So like, let's prepare for that. We don't want to fire people, but we want to replace these areas, these positions where work is repeatable and is quite easy, to enable people work on things that you really need to combine other competences, or you can bring additional value. And we don't want to fire people, but we want to build more value and additional value with the human factor, with the human skill. And I think that America is a little bit further with this thinking in the pragmatic way, like how to use that, not to deny, not to say like, okay, we have a full reservation, we are not into that. I
Yeah,
don't know
I can
how it looks
support
like
this with a
in Dubai
number,
or Canada.
because, like, here in Canada, we did this kind of research analyzing. It's the stats from, I think, like mid this year, so around May or June, comparing states to Canada. Actually, Canadians are like super crazy about like comparing themselves to states and states as well to Canada.
Okay.
So this is like a let me say national entertainment. So basically comparing AI development and AI application, so applicable AI, applying them to companies, didn't go that well. So the stat says, as is saying that in Canada, 30% of companies around that they have already started implementing AI, and in states is 70. So when we are talking about like percentage, not the number, when we know that in states are like there are many, many more companies, I think it's something to do with the security, because in states and in Canada you have social security, you have social support, you have healthcare that is provided by the company, by the country. And the same with education. So basically, you feel more safe, and I can sense it in Europe. So they are okay. So who cares? There will be work for us. Like the country will take care of us, the state will take care of us in case there are layoffs. And the layoffs are coming, guys, because, for example, IBM, exactly as you said, they laid off. They said that they will lay off additional 8,000 people, and they will stop hiring
Mm-hmm.
people for the positions that can be automated. In my opinion, this is like part of the marketing strategy because they are selling the automation tool. But apart from that,
Okay.
like what I can sense is that this is very misleading in Europe and in Canada as well. States, they don't have social security. If you don't work, if you don't have a job, you land on the street. Maybe not as
Mm-hmm.
harsh as that, but basically you get into serious financial problems. In Dubai, it's similar. Whoever doesn't have a job will need to leave the state. So their jobs are not secured. Either you work and you can stay in UAE, or you don't work. Like, sorry, thank you. Like we are not supporting you. So I believe that because of that, Dubai is also evolving super fast, and people are focused on like finding the places for themselves, because they know that in the 2-3 years their job, either it will be at least in 50%, it will rearrange itself and it will require different competences,
Mm-hmm.
or will be fully absolutely removed from the market, right?
Mm-hmm. 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 So yeah, like definitely the awareness, and I think like the awareness is different, like the level of awareness is different, but also the focus on action points. Like, okay, what can we do now? What can we do with it? What we see in Europe, it's definitely, and like, no matter if it's Germany, France, Poland, Switzerland, or even Norway, we see that it's rather Europe is rather waiting, so saying like, okay, like we'll see how it goes. And on one hand, I understand that non-tech people can do that, but on the other hand, when we think how close we are as non-tech people to being technical when it comes to having a job in AI, it's quite surprisingly, it can be quite surprisingly for us, because we see that every place, every process, when we can standardize something, when we can see that, okay, 80% of behaviors, 80% of acts, even if we are
Company
talking about
activities,
internal
yes, and
processes in a
processes, yes.
company,
They're
yeah,
repeatable.
like even if it's repeatable, we can automate it. And of course, like if we do that with that tool, another tool, it's like a second thing, but the first thing is to be able to standardize and universalize things. And from my perspective, as an HR person and like leading people and culture companies and working with different organizations, growing them, this is the biggest challenge when it comes to having processes standardized, just to be sure that when we automate them, when we want to say, okay, let's feed AI with data, this data will be as we declare, because this is the biggest challenge when it comes to leadership versus AI, right? Because of course we are able to, as you said, replace very simple jobs with AI. But what about the leadership positions? I don't know how you think about it, but from my perspective, it will be a challenge when it comes to all these small details that are different in every process, and it will be a challenge to standardize. the leadership area.
Absolutely, I agree with you. But to be honest, not many people are discussing it currently. They should, because I remember like 4 years ago or something around that, I was invited to the conference, and the title of my presentation was "The Project Manager of the Future." A human or a robot already? What we will be managing? And the answer in my presentation was that the future jobs of project managers will be half and half, managing robots and people. So and we need to, like, there is, like, of course, ethical discussion right now whether robots can feel, whether they have like this, intelligence which makes them more human. Should we treat robots as humans? Can we kick them? Can we curse at them? Like, whatever, like, but this is separate discussion. For now, I think that robots are simply robots, so machines doing stuff for us. And actually, the leaders of the future should think about their company as a company that hires people and engages machine to do stuff. So I can't imagine, because before that, before the AI era, leaders were trained, myself as well, in leading people. How do you lead people? How do you lead company? But always people, people, people. So 80% of communication, so on and so forth. Right now, like, how the manager or a leader can lead successfully a company if they don't know the capabilities of technology? They will be leading technology as well. So leaders are not human leaders or leaders like leading people, masses of people, but like they will be leaders leading people next to machines and technology. And again, I will repeat it, whoever does it better and in a smarter way will win, will conquer the market. And this is exactly what we do. We take managers, leaders. I work also with a lot of board members, and we empower them with AI. And after sometimes even a couple of hours, they say, wow, this is so easy, this is so cool. Now I know, because I can take the technology that is just a tool. It's very logic, actually. I can take it to my business, and I can arrange the elements, the puzzles, the blocks, and from these blocks I can build processes of the future. So I fully agree with you that majority of process, I don't know how many, depending on the research, it's something around 50% at least, will be, if not automated, they will be enhanced with robotics, with IoT, with all the AI technologies. And managers who are leading the processes, because they are delivering value to customers, they will be delivering the value to customers not with the help of people anymore, with the help of people and machines.
I think it's, for many people it's controversial because it's like super new. I think that what is the most difficult part and the most shocking part here is the fact that management and leadership can also be processed, can also be described, ordered, and standardized somehow. Just to talk with robots, just to manage robots, as you said, you need to have it standardized somehow or universalized. For now, as we see from our scale, as HR Hints, we are supporting like between 25 and 40 companies each month. So we are having quite a big scale in different countries, as you know. So we see that 1/3 of recruitment processes are not the same. So there is a huge field to standardize, to say like, okay, what are the main steps to proceed? How we can make it repeatable? How can we make it scalable? And it's only always the same question, like, how can we make it scalable, right? Because that's the basic for making things automatized. So I think that's the most challenging part, just to understand that it's not a one day when people and technology or people and robots will be, there will be one clear border between them. And it's not about that. And this day will not come. And the fact that we need to maybe not become a robot, absolutely, but being able to describe things in a clear way and say like, okay, what are the 10 basic steps to do something. I think it's about changing mindset. And after that change in HR, also the change in hiring comes, as you said, reskilling competences, finding new possibilities for people. And to be honest, there is not another way, because we are not able to fill this gap in another way. Academia will not able to help us in 100%. So we need to find another ways, and I think that's the mindset we propose here
Okay,
today.
so we have the mindset. Let's sum up because many people are listening to our podcast. So let's do something for them. Let's sum it up. So we
Mhm.
already know that we are helping you to reskill. One of the options, of course, is an elephant AI, and actually, people like Róża and her company are already waiting for you to conclude and to graduate from the course so they can take you from the market and they can help you find a job. About that, maybe we'll tell you in a moment at the end of our podcast. It will be a kind of surprise. But before that, so we have a change of mindset. So, what would the person needs to do? Change of mindset, understanding that they will be managing humans and robots at the same time. What else? What else? Like openness. We mentioned openness and creativity and business skills. So focusing on business skills and also soft skills. So soft skills
Yeah.
understood as w-
Understood as being open to listen to feedback, connecting the dots, definitely, and understanding the
oh yeah,
context.
absolutely, absolutely. So not like soft skills like I don't know, like motivating people, but more like soft skills in terms of not coding, right? Not coding because like
Yeah.
let me be clear in here. With the rise of transformers and NLP, we no longer need coding. We don't no longer need Python and R to explain what we want in terms of data science. So our natural language, that's why it's called NLP, so natural language processing. So the computer is finally able to understand our own English, Polish, Arabic language, right? So this is the change. So you
Mhm.
need to understand, I would add to the picture, you need to understand how to talk to a computer because still with our own language, we still sometimes we are not understood 100%. So it's easier to learn like this, half robotic half human language, but it's kind of easier because you don't need to understand you don't need to learn the structures by heart. What else would we be adding here to the picture?
I would add two things from HR and people and culture perspective. Definitely, the one is the change the way of hiring people or letting people reskill. Definitely, it's much more about potential than experience. So the possibility to grow people and the space for in the company for that type of grow we haven't seen yet, because we need to be prepared for unknown, and that's like the super big part of the change. And last thing from my side, I would add is the option of standardizing and measuring the people processes. So if we are having new competencies in organization, we are able to say, okay, after first quarter you need to do this, after second quarter you need to do this. So being clear about expectations, being clear about milestones, and being clear about what exactly we need to learn, what exactly we want to go to. Because very often it's like, growth area, mentoring area, soft skills, it's like, very foggy, very general, and lack of concrete. And actually it's the opposite. Just, growth can be
Measured, yes.
divided to stages, to milestones, and that's how we how we should manage it.
Wonderful. So we mentioned many skills already that you should master before, let me say, becoming an AI manager or becoming an AI leader or anyone in AI field. But please don't be scared. What we know from our students, they say it was a lot of fun and I wish it could last longer. So it's like we are inviting you to the world of technology that is not like, like difficult with 10 points on the checklist. Before you check all of them, you can't come. It's like, a closed doors club. No, it's not a
Yeah.
VIP place. It's a place for everyone. And I would like to highlight that this is a place that everyone who is willing to can join. So it's not like you need to have like PhD in physics or you need to have technical background. For example, we trained many HR managers and people from marketing and different industries. Never ever, and they told me I'm super beginner. I know nothing about AI except for Excel and PowerPoint. And I said, ooh, okay, cool. It will be good for you. And actually, to be honest, some of them received a special badge from us at the end for their capstone project because they were recognized as one of the best projects. So it's more like business thinking plus technology. So again, we are encouraging you to use the technology and to think about yourself in the world of AI because this world is coming. It's already here, as Róża said. It's like waiting for that is like waiting to be doomed. Sorry, I will be honest. It's like either you jump on board now or you will be forced to jump on board later, but basically on very, very on worse conditions that you could do it now. Because right now, Róża is waiting for you, as I said. And Róża, for example, if you could say it or mention, if you would be like looking for perfect AI leaders or AI managers or AI maybe not founders because you already have worked with founders, many founders, but like managers to run the business AI, because like all the businesses right now, to be honest, they will be in AI, right? They will be using AI. So who would be
Mhm.
like the perfect candidate? What this perfect candidate would, I know what skills and what competences, what experience. We mentioned that maybe not experiences of the future, but
Mhm.
potential for the future. Like, help me here.
Mhm. Yeah, like definitely, as we mentioned, like the way of thinking is much more important, right? So being able to connect the dots, being open-minded, being logical thinking, but not, as you said, not exactly having PhD in physics. It's much more about mindset, about being able to be responsible, having ownership, but also being, yeah, like the Renaissance man, right? So having different experiences from different areas and being able to say like, okay, what we predict is this and this, and the forecast is this and this, and that's how we interpret that. So yeah, these are like crucial set of competences, of mindset, and I think it's much more logic, and it has a lot of more sense to grow people in that area, to reskill, than to wait for the candidate of your dreams for a year, right? It's much better to take the talent you have and switch in the quarter or two.
Absolutely good. Thank you for that. I think that's a good hint. HR hint. HR hint
HR
to
hint.
everyone who is listening to us. And guys, again, to be honest, this is too easy to be true. Some say. But please remember that there is place for you here in AI world, to which we encourage you, invite you to join us. Okay, wonderful. So it was great talking to you. We will be wrapping up. Róża, would you I don't know, like close with a very hopeful message and saying goodbye to everyone?
Yeah, Like it was like my great pleasure to talk to you, Maria, and I'm super happy that it's not the last time we meet. Like oppositely, actually, because we will be having a lot of things to say to you in very soon future. So I'm super happy for our common shared plans. For now, I'm super optimistic when it comes to possibilities of standardizing and processing work and workplaces. And if you are interested in finding more, dear listeners, dear audience today, we will be launching our book, and it's Culturivy, The Power of Changing a Workplace. And that's the book that refers to the main idea of our work, and also the thing we discussed today, that a lot of things can be automatized, that are repeatable, that when we see that people talent can be used in a better way, so in a better way, more creative and used for greater things, it is really worth to automate repeatable work. It's really worth to standardize the things we see for another time. So I'm super happy for our future plans. That's the one thing. I'm super grateful for our conversation today. Yeah, and I wanted to invite you all to culturivy.io just to find out more about our book and our platform and our methodology. We scale organizations and make the organizational culture
Wonderful.
better.
So companies can come to you if they want to hire, if they want, if they need any help in HR. And if I'm not mistaken, you can also support them part time. So you're not exactly. So guys, if
Definitely.
you need like a part time HR support of experts, of course, international experts, this is the place. Also the book and help in transformation of organizational culture in AI era. This is like super important. That's why we as Elephant AI, we are like right now discussing with Róża and her company how we can cooperate, and because what we focus on is like not just to share with you our knowledge, because this is what we do very effectively, but also help you land in the best position after graduating from the course. So if you like have a dream of working in States, working in Canada, working in Europe, working in Poland, in Dubai, these are still the places that we are very active at. And we figured out that we can help you out because we know how to land your upgraded CV with AI, with the courses that Elephant AI does, how to secure the best place for you. Because this is what we do. We believe that with the rise, with the larger number of AI managers and AI leaders, the world is safer, will be safer. So we want to help you out in making our world a better place. And this is what Elephant AI believes very, very much. That's why we also share some of our profits with nonprofit organizations. I will be visiting United Nations exactly to discuss this problem this September in New York. And please remember that if you come here, you will be taken care of. And this is our plan, to help you make our world a better place. Like both of us, Róża Szafranek and Maria Parish, we are here with HR Hints and with Culturivy, with Elephant AI to support you here. So if you have any doubts, just contact us. We are available on LinkedIn. You can follow us. You can drop us an email. All the links, of course, will be included here under this video. And just we are looking forward to meeting you, because so many already companies we helped, and we are looking forward to being able to help you as well. Just the first step. Make the first step, and I promise that the best trips and the best journey starts with the first step. So just make the first step, and everything else will just happen. Thank you.
So true.
It was wonderful talking
Nothing
to you.
to add.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.